Okay, here we are, trial number 3. This one's not going to be quite as organized. That should be enough room. So we're now going to look at our junction box. It is an old piece of crap, but I had it and it's free. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so as you can see, or maybe you can't see, this back plate is approximately the same size as the back of this. So the controller is going to be in this area. The low voltage stuff over here, the higher voltage stuff over here. I'm going to be drilling a couple of big holes inside the metal here, which is strong, or which is light gauge, but still strong enough to hold the connectors and the cables that I'm using. This breaker will be sticking out this vent on the side. I'm going to make a cover for it. Actually, I'm going to be making covers for all of these vents that you can see. And the top is going to be Lexan, so you can see through it, which is why I'm going to be talking, or I talked about having the indicating LEDs over there and over here. Those may in fact be hooked up to an Arduino. I don't know yet. The Arduino is not very bulletproof, and it doesn't like the electromagnetic interference that this controller is going to be spewing out. I'll try and hardwire it first. If that doesn't work for me, I'll put the Arduino in. I'm actually going to be cutting a hole in the back plate and putting the controller on the bottom, and then setting this thing on top and bolting through, because I have cooling on the controller, and the cooling comes out this side and this side, which aren't really handy in terms of plumbing. So in order to get the plumbing to be below where the electronics are, I'm cutting a hole in this back plate and kind of slipping it over and bolting it to the aluminum. This is steel. This isn't as light as I'd like it to be, but free is better than light in my books right now. So we're going to do it with this one. If I get to the point where I want to clean it up, and I'm actually too embarrassed by this one, I will go ahead and fix it. Put in an aluminum one. Yeah, that's about it. So in terms of bus bar, we've got 4 inches of bus bar, about 17 inches of bus bar, 4 inches of bus bar, 4 inches of bus bar, 4 inches of bus bar, and then the lug coming out of the motor to this. Got 4 inches of bus bar to the fuse down to the positive on the motor. Negative on the motor is a little piece of bus bar here. Actually, I don't think I need bus bar. All I need is a lug from the negative of the battery to here, and a lug from the negative of the motor to here. So no bus bar in here. I've got my standoffs, I've got my breaker, my contactors, my pre-charge, got my battery. I'm looking at my battery charger now to see whether I have a NiCad charger that will work. The DC to DC I have, the controller I have. I'm still working on plumbing. I'm still working on a pot box, and the connectors coming into the sides of this unit they need to be fairly waterproof. Waterproof would be awesome. Splash proof at least is kind of required, just because it's under the hood of a car and it will be getting wet. I will recess things and make it so that the water can shed from all the surfaces, but it is still going to get wet. This, actually this box down here is going to be mounted about this much is going to be over top of the transmission. The rest of this is over top of the electric motor. So when it's mounted in there, there's going to be a hinge on this end and on this end, and it will pivot up, because underneath I need to be able to get to the motor lugs. On this end, I need to be able to get to the brackets for the motor mount. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. No, you can't. At this end, I need to be able to get to the brackets for the motor mount. The tachometer on the auxiliary shaft of the motor is going to be on this side. There's two brackets. There's going to be a bracket that's going to be used to hold up the axle. It's a support for the axle. The pot box is going to be over here, so I don't have a lot of clearance, but I can rotate this up. On that end, which you can't see. Yeah. So on that end of the junction box is going to be the fuse box and the regular 12-volt battery that runs the lighting and radio and heater core and stuff. It's going to be off of a DC to DC converter, which I can't really decide where to put it. Beside the battery is one place, but then I need another hole up here, another hole up here that will connect to the negative and to this part of the positive, and then fuse, and then go out to wherever the DC to DC converter is. That will basically keep the 12-volt battery for the car charged up. I know that there's going to be a diode on it and possibly a small inductor, just because people have had trouble with DC to DC converters killing the batteries, and the capacitors in the DC to DC converters have had some issues. And that should be about it. I'm going to stop talking now.